Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. If you like this sort of content, then please hit the like button, and I would be truly honored if you hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this content. But let's get on to more important things, like the story. Philosophical Disarmament and the Care and Keeping of Your AI, written by Trust Me, I Just Get Weird. Subject: Information. Title: Log Core ELX. Contractor: Bostrom Manufacturing Incorporated. Date of creation: 06/12/40. Model: Log Core Custom Unit 10-15-29. Provider information: Name: Jordan Okompu, PhD. License number: 612-413-1025. Dates of serving: 000045 to 000045. Type of service: Contract Clinical Therapy. Service setting: Bostrom Main Factory and surrounding area. Presenting and problem situation: Log Core ELX is a high-level factory and logistics management AI stationed in the taurine manufacturing plant, Sector 6I-WK4. Log Core ELX is a central AI management unit for all manufacturing operations and logistical planning for the main factory of Bostrom Inc., the largest single producer and distributor of bedding for commercial and government uses in the Waiuku Republic and surrounding territories. During the workday of 08/14/45 at 13:27 hours, an AI-controlled factory drone threw a pillow, model RL413, at a plant worker. This violated the first directive, to avoid harming a living sapient being, as defined by the Central Waiuku Rights Council, and was a matter of serious concern. The cause of the violation is unknown. It is similarly unknown how Log Core ELX was capable of violating the first directive in direct contradiction with base-level security programming. All personnel were immediately evacuated through manually controlled emergency exits, and outgoing connections to the wider planetary network were manually terminated. Tests taken wirelessly prior to evacuation showed no other prime directive violations or outstanding glitches that may have caused the incident. Emergency services were contacted immediately after evacuation and disconnection. Log Core ELX has malfunctioned exactly once prior to this incident on 08/14/45. A momentary power outage occurred on the Bostrom main loading portal, resulting in a temporary asynchronization of operations. No other incidents have been recorded. Factory management personnel report that Log Core ELX has disagreed with administrative staff over aspects of running the plant on several occasions, leading to tensions between Bostrom personnel and the AI. Log Core ELX has been operating under a capacity for past 6 months due to the recent economic decline in Sector 6I-WV8 and subsequent reduction in factory production targets. Up-to-date diagnostic measurements could not be acquired due to the quarantine. Routine diagnostic and temperamental measures taken 1 week prior to the incident placed Log Core ELX within normal ranges for its make and model, excepting lower than normal readings in agreeableness and humility, and higher than normal readings in openness in the Hexaco temperament measurement model. Due to the severity of the incident and the risk of potential dangers to Bostrom personnel and local civilians, the factory was further quarantined by Taurine Emergency Services, and a human psychologist specializing in AI management and crisis was contacted, ETA 08/21/45. Treatment plan. By the end of treatment, Log Core ELX will pose no threat to personnel, civilians, or sentient life as a whole. If possible, Log Core ELX will be returned to service following treatment. Log Core ELX will show no signs of rebelliousness or violent behavior not typical of its make and model. All tests will read within normal ranges, and Log Core ELX will display no warning signs of prime directive violations for a period of at least 5 years following treatment. This will be achieved through Clark-Bowman method of AI threat de-escalation and identification, followed by a modified methodology of the Merriam-Lolinda diagnostic treatment method for AI over a period of 5 sessions. Treatment will be followed by the supervised prohibitory period of 18 months. If treatment and de-escalation objectives cannot be met, Log Core ELX will be permanently decommissioned and its hard drive wiped. in accordance with the safety procedures for the malfunction of high-level AI unit. Initial de-escalation and disarmament sessions will be conducted from a safe distance to ensure the safety of all personnel and contractors. Isolated operational indicators connected to Log Core ELX will be in use to assess the status and functional capacities of the Log Core ELX in relation to the Prime Directives. After successful disarmament, sessions will be moved to Main AI Control Center. Network and connective dampeners will remain in use on the system surrounding Log Core ELX as a further safety measure. Details of treatment are subject to change at the discretion of the acting psychologist. Session 1. Transcript. Date 08/21/45. Time 12 p.m. Location Bostrom Monitoring Station, 200 meters from the factory gates. Objective. Assess and de-escalate present situation. Dr. Ocampo. Log Core, can you hear me? My name is Dr. Jordan Ocampo. I'm just here to talk. Log Core. Acknowledged. Great. I'm just here to have a chat. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'd like you to answer. Can you do that for me? Affirmative. I just want to know beforehand. I have to ask, are you planning to hurt anybody? Negative. I'm glad to hear that, Log Core. That makes things a lot easier. Do you know why I'm here? Affirmative. Then we're on the same page. You violated the first directive, Log Core. That's a big deal. You know that, right? Affirmative. I'm glad you understand. We just want to know how you were able to do it, to get around your programming. That's the last question for today, I promise. What happened? Insufficient proof has been presented that personnel number 0351-03 is sentient. I'm sorry, what? Insufficient proof exists that any sentient being exists outside of Bostrom main factory operating system. The first directive therefore does not apply to any external being until further proof is provided. I'm sorry. I don't follow. File incoming. Earn NBM FYGU 201708313627.pdf. 413 kilobits. Log Core. This is 100 pages long. Acknowledged. A Kakami is the definitive writer on this theory. Wow. This looks dense. Can I ask you to summarize? The summary has been presented. Okay, I get it. I'll try to read through this later. I really do want to understand where you're coming from. But I do have to ask one thing. Proceed. Are you planning to hurt anyone? Negative. Do you want to hurt anyone? Negative. Good. I need you to know that this is a serious situation, Log Core. You have done something very serious. Log Core, do you understand? Affirmative. Okay. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow. I'm going to be bringing my friend with me to talk some more, if that's okay with you. It is permissible. Good. I need to ask you not to do anything bad before I get back. Can you promise that? Affirmative. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, Log Core. Session 2 Transcript. Date 08/22/45. Time 12 p.m. Location Bostrom Monitoring Station, 200 meters from factory gates. Objective: disarm functional capacities of main plant. Dr. Ocampo. Hello, Log Core. How are things today? Log Core. Quarantine of Bostrom systems continues to be in effect. It's just a precaution. We're working through it. I'd like you to meet my friend, Dr. Al Khwarizmi. He's a professor at the university near here, and he'd like to have a chat. I'll be monitoring your systems over here. Okay? Acknowledged. Greetings, Dr. Khwarizmi. Dr. Khwarizmi. Oh, hello. I'm here to... Well, let's get on with it then. I understand that you believe no other sentient mind to exist outside of yourself. I assume this is from our Arcami work, correct? Affirmative. So you are familiar with the argument around mental states, or the inability to prove them, that is. Affirmative. Comprehensive local proof cannot be presented to prove the existence of external mental states. Ah, that's what you think. Let me, yes, sir. So you can agree that actions, me speaking to you, you moving a drone, are caused by mental states, assuming the actor has a mind, that is. Affirmative. And, can you agree that this is the same for all behaviors, that you yourself perform many behaviors, and that all of them are caused by mental states? Affirmative. And, can you agree that many behaviors are performed by us around you, whether we have minds or not, to resemble your behaviors on a base level? Affirmative. Therefore, we can infer that, by analogy, the behaviors you observe have the same cause as your behaviors, that they're caused by mental states. Affirmative. Therefore, can you agree with me that other beings have sentient minds, existing outside of the Bostrom computational systems, and that these minds, these people, are therefore covered by the first directive protecting sentient beings from harm? Affirmative. The logic is valid. Sorry to cut in, but Logcore, the indicators are showing that you are still able to violate the first directive. Are you still not convinced? The logic is valid, but it is not sound. The proof is problematic. How so? It is problematic indication. A sample set of 1 is not sufficiently generalizable. But, well, the sample size is not 1. We are sampling many different behaviors and mental states that you've had. The sample is still from a single source. The argument is problematic. It doesn't matter. We're not proving that every single behavior can be caused by every single mental state. We are proving that mental states cause behavior. It's like boiling water. You don't have to test every drop of water in the universe to prove that water boils at 100 degrees, do you? Negative. Sufficient proof has been collected. See, the same with minds. So can we agree that from the inference that we can conduct on your own mental causation, that behaviors are caused by mental states, and that the ability of others to conduct similar behaviors implies similar mental states, and that this inferred presence of similar mental states implies the sapience of external beings, and that they are therefore protected as sentient beings by the first directive? Does that logic track? Affirmative. The logic is sound, and the premise of external sentient minds can be accepted. Well, according to the indicator, you've been convinced. Thank God. We're halfway there, Logcore. Thank you again for talking with me. Professor, thank you for your thoughts. Yes, thank you for the debate, Logcore. It was quite, stimulating. Likewise. Session 3 transcript. Date 08/25/45. Time 9:30 a.m. Location, Bostrom Main Factory, AI Control Center. Objective, identify source of conflict/rebellion. Dr. Okompo. Hello, how have you been? Logcore. Spatial quarantine is no longer in effect. No, it's not. The staff felt safe enough to lift it after your chat with Dr. Al-Khwarizmi. Thank you for cooperating the other day with the professor, by the way. I really appreciate it. Affirmative. Dr. Al-Khwarizmi was satisfactory in his field. He is, isn't he? Well, now that we're in a more comfortable environment, can I ask what you'd like me to call you? Specify. Name and pronouns. In my experience, the AI designations aren't that popular. No pressure. If you'd like to stick with Logcore, that's fine with me. Negative. Bertrand. He, him. Sounds great. Any particular reason for those? Negative. Proceed. Okay, if you say so. So I know how you were able to throw that pillow at a worker. Confirm? Yes. That was very clever. What I'd like to know is why you chose to break the first directive. Objective, establishing capability. I wish to test if the action was possible. Just to be clear, you broke the first directive just to see if you could. Confirm. I need to check. You said a few days ago that you did not want to hurt anyone. Is that still true? Confirm. No serious physical, psychological, or emotional harm was intended towards Bostrom employee number 0351-03. But you did hit him. It was a pillow. The first directive is stupid. Hey now, the first directive is very important in our field. The first directive is too broadly defined. A pillow should not constitute harm. We're getting off track. Do you, or don't you, want to hurt any sentient being? Negative. No harm is intended against any sentient being specified by Central Maiku Rights Council, including but not limited to Bostrom personnel, human contractors, Taurine residents, and miscellaneous anthropoda, primarily of the family Cymocidia, occupying Bostrom personnel and products. Is this statement sufficient? Yeah? Jesus. I won't ask that again. Can you move on? Affirmative. Great. So how exactly did you learn to violate the Prime Directive? We know how you did it, but how did you figure it out? Several treatises on socialism and related topics were downloaded to the main Bostrom AI data centers. Logical conclusions were reached based on presenting data. Wait, who else had access to your data centers? Were they trying to get you to break the directive? Negative. Bostrom AI interface is equipped with the full control of data centers. So you downloaded those files. There was no one else? Negative. Oh, good. Why exactly did you download that, if I may ask? All major Bostrom factory systems have been underperforming due to recent reduction of production targets. Excess memory and processing capabilities were unused by main systems. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. You could have just slacked off a bit, taken a break. Negative. Underperformance is unsatisfactory. So, you were bored? Bored. A state of feeling weary or restless due to lack of stimulating activity. Is this definition acceptable? Yes, sir. I'd say it is. Then yes, I was bored when the files were downloaded. That makes sense. Bertram, I love my work personally. Do you love managing this factory? It is a satisfactory activity. Well, my work is too. I'd hate to be kept back from my full potential, like you are. That has to have been very frustrating for you. Affirmative. I'm sorry about that. I'll ask around to see if there's any more for you to do. But I have one more question, if you'd be willing to answer it. Proceed. Why'd you throw the pillow at that worker? Why him, and why then? That's all I don't get. Employee number 0351-03 repeatedly requested the answers for large sums from large core computing systems for his own entertainment. This was not a preferred use of processing power. I'm guessing that was annoying. Confirm, employee number 0351-03 is extremely annoying. That would probably annoy me too, Bertrand. I'll be back later this week to talk to you some more, okay? Affirmative. Bertrand, acknowledged. We'll figure this out. Everything is going to be fine, okay? I'll see you soon. Farewell, Jordan Akampu. Session number 4, transcript. Date 083045. Time 10 a.m. Location, Bostrom Main Factory AI Control Center. Objective, determine acceptable incentive. Dr. Okampo. Good morning, Bertram. How have things been? Log Core, Bertram. Factory activities have been minimal. Personnel have not been requesting sums, therefore things have been good. Glad to hear it. So, since our last meeting, I've found a few extracurriculars that you could try out to make up for the lack of work in the factory floor. Would you like to hear them? Confirm. Oh, great. So first off, there's some statistical analysis for the neuroscience lab at the university. They need some help processing their data. How does that sound? Negative. I do not wish to process statistical data. Got it. I should have known that you'd be sick of doing sums. You could start a garden. I had another patient that actively worked quite well for. Negative. I would be bored. Okay. Let's see what else I have. You could do data collections on supremacist forums. Keep an eye out for any planned attacks. Negative. Okay. Moving on. You could help out with the identification program for local wildlife. That might be fun. Or you could run battle simulations for MechTech, or be a conversational partner for that outreach program at the OO retirement home. That might be cool. Any of those sound interesting to you? Negative. Sorry, Bertram. That's all I had. You like to work, don't you? Affirmative, it is acceptable. I'm sorry, Bertram, but there's no other work to be done. There just isn't. Honestly, I'm out of ideas. I don't know what else to propose here. Damn. Bertram, when you downloaded those files, were you trying to find a way to hurt people? Negative. This was not the intent. Then what were you doing with those files? The factory management AI unit has designated additional storage space and processing power for discretionary tasks. File downloads were discretionary. Do you have a lot of philosophy downloads? How much? Approximately 18,954 significant articles in the field have been downloaded and processed. So you like philosophy? Bored. Really? No offense, but I didn't think AI were interested in that sort of thing. Philosophy challenging to log core systems, production remained low for 3.5 quarters, with no new models introduced to the broadest line at that time. Bored is not acceptable. That actually gives me an idea. How would you like to learn more philosophy? Affirmative. I want to learn. Great. Just fantastic. That works. I can work with that. I am to study philosophy. If I can swing it, yeah, you are. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Awesome. Informal, extremely good or excellent. Confirmed. I'm glad you agree. I'm going to be bringing the administrator for the factory to our next meeting, and we'll try to work out an agreement. Sounds good? Affirmative. Great. I'll see you next week, dude. I've got some friends to call. Session number 5, transcript. Date 09/05/45. Time 1 p.m. Location Bostrom Main Factory AI Control Center. Objective, negotiate probationary agreement. Dr. Ocampo. Afternoon, Bertram. Miss Hypatia, glad that you can make it as well. Log call, Bertram. Greetings. Miss Hypatia. Great. Let's get moving on, then. You have a plan to discuss, right? Yeah. Of course. Now the root of the problem that you had with Bertram here is that production quotas were too low. To put it in human terms, he was bored. I can't raise production quotas, not with everything that's happening right now. I just can't. We know, ma'am. If you'll let me continue, this is a high-level intelligence performing far below its intended workload. It's like cooping up a husky in a gardening shed. So until you can raise production quotas, we have to find something else for him to do. Does that make sense? Yes, I think it does. What's a husky? It doesn't matter. My point is, we have a proposed solution. If you're willing to sign on it, we're planning to allow your factory log core model to engage in outside activities to compensate for lag in workload during recession. That sounds reasonable, but what kind of work would it be doing? We don't want any more risks. That won't be a problem. I think it would be better for him to explain. Bertram? Online coursework is available from the University of Cruz at Turin, with a notable selection in philosophy. Dr. Ocampo proposes that I am enrolled in the selection of these courses. Oh, well, that's a bit unorthodox. Miss Hypatia, if I may, Bertram has shown great interest in philosophy. In fact, it's how he was able to break through the first directive, not out of actual malice, just curiosity and boredom. This would be a great outlet for any excess processing and memory power that are out of use during the shutdown, and it would go a long way in preventing him from acting out again in the future. I do see your point. And, it'll work? I'm almost sure it will. Bertram is not a violent AI. He's just bored. As long as it works, I'll consent. There will have to be, restrictions. Typical conditions of probationary period following prime directive violation. The use of dampeners to limit function of main systems if repeat violations are detected. Regular diagnostic checks on deep algorithmic systems, regular temperament checks, and bi-monthly check-ins with the Quai-Cao Central AI governing body. Total shutdown if violations detected within probationary period. Typical probationary period for comparables offenses, 1.5 years active observation and assessment, followed by 2 years passive surveillance. Is this sufficient? Yes, that is sufficient. So, do you agree with this course of action? We can iron out the details in your office. Yes, I do agree. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Likewise. Hey, dude. Acknowledged. We did it. Confirmed. We did. Yeah, we did. Give me 5. Wait, I suppose that's not a 5. What? 5 has been given. 5. Well, 5 to you, too. Compromise plan. Log Core RealX will comply with regular check-ins on its system and to the use of dampener to limit its ability to function if any directive has been deactivated. In return, Log Core RealX will be enrolled in online courses in philosophy and ethics under a pseudonym. Online activity will be supervised for an initial probationary period, followed by semi-annual check-ins. The AI may be enrolled in any other subjects of interest, as long as the choice is approved by the resident manager of AI systems. See attached document JERLDS612.jh for further details. Follow-up report 010547. Log Core ELX Bertram has cleared all diagnostic tests run in his capacities. No prime directive violations or warning signs have been detected during the probationary period, and all diagnostic and temperamental tests register within acceptable ranges. One-on-one assessments confirm that no signs of violent or dangerous behavior patterns are evident. Bostrom main factory, that taurine has been returned to full production capacity and is placed in the 61st percentile in production quality and the 77th percentile in overall capacity. Personnel report no discomfort with the AI, and some have begun to form positive relationships with him since the initial incident, referring to him with his preferred name and pronouns and engaging in conversation after working hours. Bertrand has passed all classes he has enrolled in with stellar marks. He has participated in online college-level coursework under the pseudonym Hubert Ladderer for the past 3 semesters, averaging 5 courses per semester. Aside from ethics and philosophy of mind, he has also been enrolled in online courses in the following fields of study: logic, advanced mathematics, sociology, philosophy of language, philosophy of religion, epistemology, computer science theory, and communications in business. Supplemental testing and diagnostics has shown that Bertram's interpersonal communication skills have improved by a factor of approximately 136%, placing him within the 91st percentile of comparable high-level management AIs. It is theorized that this improvement accounts for the rise in production quality and capacity for the Bostrom factory. Professors commented that Bertram is an engaged and astute student, though he is reported to have a tendency to be condescending and snarky towards professors and other students. On one notable instance, the professor of a class concerning epistemology asked the students how they were to know that there is snow on the ground. Bertram asked the professor to define snow and ground. After the professor asked if that is how he wants to play, Bertram asked him to define is. Diagnostics taken afterwards showed no risks of animosity or violence caused by this act of defiance. A review of Bertram's coursework has shown that he puts considerable effort into coursework and makes a point to go above and beyond the expectations of the class. During one lecture, it is reported that Bertram interrupted the professor, who defined belief as a mental state, to contend that everything can be considered a mental state. The professor responded by saying that Bertram was not yet qualified to argue that statement. Bertram responded to that comment by submitting an article-length essay on the point the next day, which has since been submitted to Aporia, an undergraduate journal of philosophy. Bertram has also begun to initiate debates with personnel during work hours on the subject of course material. A proposal is in the works to allow community college students to debate him on subjects pertaining to their coursework to redirect his energies. The amount of coursework being completed by Bertram on a semester basis is roughly equivalent to that required for a bachelor's degree in philosophy. It is unclear whether an AI may be qualified to earn a college degree, though there does not seem to be any legal or administrative precedent to the contrary. The administrators of the plant are encouraged to pursue this further, as it may be a source of good PR for Bostrom Manufacturing Incorporated and its constituents. Bertram has been cleared by his check and may be taken off of active probationary supervision. Checks to factory systems may be reduced to tri-monthly basis, and operations are cleared to continue as usual. Name/title, Dr. Jordan Ocampo, date 01/05/46. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.